Good morning and happy Valentine's Day. Of course, it actually is Saint Valentine's Day, and you may or may not know Saint Valentine may or may not have existed. If he did, he would have lived in the 3rd century during the 200s, and he was a martyr. He died for his faith. And one of the legends about him says that after he was arrested, he befriended his jailer's daughter who was blind, and he healed her from her blindness by praying for her. And he would write her encouraging letters, and he would sign them, "From your Valentine." And that's a wonderful example of someone who, a wonderful Christian, who was befriending someone who was his oppressor's daughter. He should have wanted her to remain blind, for him, the jailer, to suffer, but instead, of course, he reached out in love to her. Another legend says that St. Valentine married people that the Roman government didn't want to be married. It may have been that they were Christians, and the Roman government didn't want Christians to be married because they didn't want them to reproduce. They didn't want there to be more Christians. It may have been that he married young men to young women so that they would not have to go to war, because there was a prohibition against sending married people to war. We're not really sure, but that's another example of him reaching out to other people at risk to himself in love. And what a contrast that is to what this day has become. Our culture, like it has with many of our holidays, has taken a holiday that should symbolize self-sacrifice and true love and faith, and made it instead a holiday that celebrates kind of cravenness and self-indulgence. You know, what am I getting for Valentine's Day? And maybe even a lack of faith. And so let's bring ourselves back around to Valentine's Day, to St. Valentine's Day. And let me share with you from 1 John 3, a powerful passage about love. We know love by this, that he laid down his life for us, and we ought to lay down our lives for one another. How does God's love abide in anyone who has the world's good and sees a brother or a sister in need and yet refuses to help? Little children, let us love, not in word or speech, but in truth and action. We are called on St. Valentine's Day to love in truth and action, to reach out to those who are in need, to reach out to those who perhaps are suffering this day because they don't have a Valentine, or their Valentine has passed away, or they've gone through a difficult time in a relationship or something. Find a way to reach out to them. I saw this day a benediction I want to share with you that first is uncomfortable and should be uncomfortable, but I think actually offers us an opportunity for true peace. And here it is. You can see it on the screen as well. And now may the Lord torment you. May the Lord keep before you the faces of the hungry, the lonely, the rejected, and the despised. May the Lord afflict you with pain for the hurt, the wounded, the oppressed, the abused, the victims of violence. May God grace you with a burning thirst for justice and righteousness. May the Lord give you a courage and strength and compassion to make ours a better world, to make your community a better community, to make your church a better church. May you do your best to make it so, and after you have done your best, may the Lord grant you peace. And when I first read that, I think, if I have to do my very best at that, I have to work so hard at that, I'll never get peace. I'll never measure up. But just today in worship, and I'm filming this on Sunday afternoon, our church did 2 really powerful things. We signed Valentine's Day cards for our Learning Center staff, and a number of people brought fresh baked goodies and other goodies for our Learning Center staff to give them a Valentine this day. And unfortunately, our Learning Center staff sometimes are those who are overlooked, underappreciated, and this is a way for us as a church to say, we do love you and we do care about you, and we want you to celebrate, even though you have to work here on this Valentine's Day. Also in church today, our younger folks, our children, our youth, they made blessing bags, and they brought them into the sanctuary for people to be able to take home. And a blessing bag is a bag that has some food and some water and some encouragement in it. And when you see someone on the side of the road who is in need, you can give them a blessing bag and help them have a little more encouragement. And that's a way of looking out after the lonely and the despised and the rejected and those who are in need. And so let me encourage you this day to find maybe a small way or a large way to do just that, and trust that then this benediction will come true for all of us. And so let me share with you one more time this benediction. And now may the Lord torment you. May the Lord keep before you the faces of the hungry, the lonely, the rejected, and the despised. May the Lord afflict you with pain for the hurt, the wounded, the oppressed, the abused, the victims of violence. May God grace you with a burning thirst for justice and righteousness. May the Lord give you courage and strength and compassion to make ours a better world, to make your community a better community, to make your church a better church. May you do your best to make it so, and after you have done your best, may the Lord grant you peace. And we can do that, of course, because God is with us. Amen, and happy Valentine's Day.